r/ask Reddit. What's not as bad as everyone says? Your 30s. I mean, it finally feels like I have most of my shit together. Old enough to do the adult things, but young enough to still act like a 20-something from time to time. I'm old enough to functionally adult, but I'm still a kid at heart with disposable income. My 30s have been infinitely better than my 20s. I'm in my early 30s. I have a good job, a house, disposable income, and all the freedom that comes with those things. That's all pretty great, but this is the point when meeting a significant other becomes much harder, much faster. Since we're not in school or anything like that anymore, meeting new people takes far more effort in order to be around far less people. Online dating is hell unless you're particularly attractive, because online and app dating is set up to be based on looks. There's so many single parents, divorced people with their previous marriage in tow, and people with tons of baggage in general that dating stops feeling fun and starts feeling like a job interview. Eating alone at a restaurant. It'll be a good hour wait for a table. I'll eat at the bar. Right this way. The bar is my go-to spot pretty much anywhere, both alone and with my so. It's just so much easier, quicker, and a better time usually. Ikea instructions. Everyone says they're too hard to follow. Seriously? Ikea specifically designs their instructions to be as simple as possible. They never use any words in them, instead having very clear and large images and icons, so that anyone, regardless of language, can understand them, and clearly label all the parts you need at every step. They literally cannot dumb it down any further. How is this too hard for you? There is a Venn diagram of people who are incapable of putting together IKEA furniture without a panic attack and people who are incapable of using a self-checkout without cursing. That diagram is a circle, a stupid impatient circle. Self-service machines are ridiculously quick to use if you're well practiced. Unexpected item in the bagging area. Young people. I'm almost 60 and the kids just seem to get nicer and nicer. My generation were horrible in comparison. I agree. This whole millennial thing is blown way out of proportion. I recently retired from an engineering group from a Fortune 500 company. All new hire engineers I had the pleasure of working with were outstanding kids. I was proud to be their mentor. A couple of them were off the scale as far as work ethic and attitude. Only one kid was a little arrogant, but we came to an understanding. I was happy to leave the company with him finally aware of what it takes to be a confident engineer in the culture we developed. Also, my daughter decided to become a teacher. I have had many conversations with her about her job and what it takes to be a good teacher these days. She has a clear and concise perspective on what it is going to take moving forward. I am very proud of her. This whole millennial thing is nothing more than the elders being jealous of the younger. Getting older, you gain a lot of perspective and you worry a lot less. Time makes you bolder. Going out by yourself. I actually enjoy shopping by myself. I throw on some headphones, crank up the jams, and go about my business. That or going to coffee shops by yourself just to sit in some solitude. People think I'm crazy when I say I prefer going to the mall alone, but it drives me batshit crazy when I'm shopping with someone else and they tell me to hurry up, or try to drag me into stores that I don't like. When I shop alone, I can take as long as I want, and go wherever I want. People think you're crazy. Are you married? Do people normally go to the mall in groups? As I was saying in the thread earlier, I don't understand why this needs defending. As a single guy, my default is to go there alone. I guess as a teenager I was worried about being alone at the mall. Marriage. I heard so many older relatives and co-workers say don't get married. Turns out they're all just terrible people who picked bad partners and or are bad partners. When you choose right, it seriously rocks. Also, if you choose right, very little should actually change after the wedding. So many people kept asking, so how's married life? Every time the answer was, more laundry. I don't know what answer people expect. Am I supposed to break down crying because I hate him? I realize this has nothing to do with the point you're making, but laundry and dishes have been a problem our entire relationship. I don't understand how two people can generate so many dirty clothes and dishes. We somehow have a nearly full dishwasher every night and have to do laundry about every 2 days. I dread having kids. Make simpler meals. Pile food in one big plate dish instead of smaller ones. and wash as soon as you finish eating. Maybe even by hand. I found this mitigates the time needed to wash dishes immensely. Menopause. It's a little scary and messes with your identity, but it can also be a relief. No more inconvenient or painful periods. No more birth control. No more worries about late in life pregnancy, and society rewards your goofy jokes and weird behavior. Everyone loves a funny grandma. I think perimenopause is the real shit disturber. My mom has been dealing with years of symptoms like hot flashes and very heavy and irregular periods. She can't wait to just hit menopause already. Vegetables. I don't get why people don't like them. I think they're delicious. I think future generations are going to have a better relationship with vegetables now that current generations are learning there are more and better ways to prepare them than boiled or steamed. Roasting your Brussels sprouts and broccoli will change your ducking life. People who say vegetables aren't delicious just don't know how to prepare them properly and how to spice them. Growing up, I just gave my first completely honest job interview yesterday because they contacted me based on my previous work with the company, so I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I was upfront about flex time, my career goals, and getting paid what I'm worth. Because I'm older and more confident than ever before. I also own a house, have a husband who can essentially read my mind, and have a circle of friends who I know will last through anything. Because they've grown alongside me, I really can't oversell how cool it is to finally have confidence in my abilities and qualities as a person. That can only really come with age and experience. How amazing is it to have a job interview where you don't have to lie once, never have to exaggerate, can ask for the things you want? My last job interview I did this because I was sure I wouldn't get it anyway, so I should just treat it as a learning experience practice. Went in super chill, leaning back in the chair, just chatting away. I'm usually quite introverted anxious, so this was unusual for an interview. They gave me the bloody job. Plus it's really relaxing knowing that they're not expecting anything other than what you honestly told them when you actually go to work there. Root canals. I was able to go to work the next day with just some ibuprofen. Also, you typically get them because you need them. It was basically instant pain relief for me. Being single. I've been single for years and have no interest in changing that anytime soon. Same here. Seems like an impossible idea for some people to understand though. Every time I visit family it's "have you met someone yet? When are you going to?" And no amount of repeating the fact that I'm just not interested seems get through. Math. Way too many people are proud of disliking it and being bad at it. But it can be beautiful and it is so satisfying to solve a problem after being stuck on it for a while. I'm not proud. Math beyond everyday uses for me blows my mind. I have struggled with it throughout school my entire life. I'm horrible at it. I fail to grasp its application. I want to understand and be proficient, but it seems like no matter how much I try, I end up right back where I started. Black coffee. I've converted a few people to black coffee with good beans and a French press. Millennials. But they're destroying businesses. I hate this argument. If a business no longer provides products or services people want, that's their own fault and they will fail. That's how capitalism works. Nobody is indebted to but things they don't want or need. Businesses should adapt to changing markets if they want to survive. Tea without sugar in it. I've been having tea without sugar in it for so long I forgot this was even a thing. The food at McDonald's. People constantly shit on it, but if you're in a hurry and kinda broke, it isn't too bad. Same thing with Taco Bell. I think after all the locations were renovated the food quality went up too, for both McDonald's and for Taco Bell. People always talk about fast food giving you digestive issues, but I've never experienced that. HPV vaccination. A lot of girls and my sisters said they cried or passed out when they got the first part of the series. It felt like a standard shot to me. What's beyond me is people making fun because I got the shot and I'm male. I mean, I'll never get cervical cancer but I can still catch HPV and pass it around. History. I love history. And so many people complain how boring useless it is. It is neither. It is interesting and helpful for understanding our world. Meatless meals. Tons of people act like the veggie option is always bad. I'm not vegetarian or anything, but pasta without meat sauce or a tofu stir fry is fine. My hot take: most people can't cook season well enough to make veggies seem delicious or like a main dish. They lean heavily on meat to pick up the interest or flavor. Weed. I was against it and straight edge for 20 plus years. But in hospital a nurse kept telling me how good it is with my condition. Goddamn, she was right. I try to use the oil with the actual drug part removed, but very rarely when the pain is at its worst. The full stuff has a lasting effect of like 3-4 days and lets me walk with no pain. Also, for the first few hours time goes really slowly and it's hilarious in retrospect. I went to bed thinking I'd been up all night watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but really I watched 2 episodes and went to bed at 8:30. Then slept for 13 hours. Donating blood. There's not too many people that say it's really bad, but seriously, it's nothing. It's been tried and tested literally millions of times to make it as painless and easy as possible. Domestic rats. They are so fluffy and will sit there, licking your fingers if you raise them right. Used to have one named Athena that would try and hide in my arms anytime someone tried to pet her. She sadly died giving birth. I had saved her from being my older brother's snake's food. I will never forget that little Dumbo rat sleeping on my shoulder as we were watching National Geographic's giant squid documentary. Working out. Everyone seems to treat it like some chore instead of a hobby, but working out changed my life for the better. You feel great, more energy, better sleep, and the confidence boost you get from achieving goals pumps me up. Girls even notice how confident I became and it helps with getting more dates. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.